How can you optimize your processes so that your team can be more efficient and more productive? That's a really good question, and that's what we're answering today. If this is your first time here, welcome to Leadership Boat. Get on board if you haven't yet. Today we are talking about one more lean management tool that comes from lean management. It's a practical tool, it's not a principle. We are very aware of lean management principles, but we forgot about tools. So we're going down to very practical tools that you can use with your team to improve your team performance and your team productivity. The lean management tool that I'm sharing with you today is called the spaghetti diagram. And it has a really cool name. Might make you hungry, so don't watch this video if you're hungry. If you're not hungry and if you're ready for learning how to improve your processes, then yeah, stay here. It's going to be a good ride. So what is the spaghetti diagram? What does it mean? How is it used? How can it be used for you with your team to improve your productivity? So I have an example here. Let's say that what you see here is a very abstract and simplistic and very creative plant of a factory. So let's say that these big squares are two different rooms, and these geometrical figures inside are different workstations within those rooms. So let's say that this is room A and this is room B, and that they have doors here, and that whenever things move from one place to the other, they have to go through this place here where, they have to check what's going on from one room to the other for some reason. So what is a spaghetti diagram? This tool, it comes also from the Toyota production system, which is a set of practices that come from Toyota in Japan. And these set of practices, they are the ones who were responsible for Toyota to improve their productivity and to suddenly take over the automotive industry and be even bigger than some of the bigger names back then, like Ford Motors. So Ford was very innovative and is very well known for the assembly line and the way that they increase productivity like that. But even though they were innovative in productivity and they had very good systems in place, still Toyota found these principles and these practices that really made them be even more productive and then kind of beat the market and beat Ford in the automotive market. So one of the tools that they used was the spaghetti diagram. How does this work? Imagining we are back into the Toyota factory and that the Toyota factory is like this very simplistic diagram. Let's say that for you to produce a certain part, that this was the part deposit. So you have to come here. So let's say that there's a bus or a train or something that brings the materials that needs to come here for it to be approved. And then the materials go into here, into the deposit of the parts. And let's say that you have here some workers with a station, and then they came here to get the materials. Then after collecting the materials, they come here to pound on the materials or to, let's imagine that it's metal. So let's say that we come here and then here they are, polishing or doing something to the metal. Then let's say they have to come here to melt the metal. But for them to come here, they actually have to go through this place. So then they come down here and to be approved so that they can go into the other room, and then they go here to be melted, for the metal to be melted. And then they have to go here for the metal to be, put into the shape that they want it to be. And then after it being here, it has to cool down here. And then it has to go over this place again because it has to go over a second time, and then it has to cool down again. And then after this, you still have to go outside again, because then you have to go here, and here's where you're going to, cut the metal in the parts that you want. And after it's here, then you have to come back out, and then you have to go again to the transportation, because then it needs to go to another house where it is assembled together. So drawing these lines of the movement of a specific part or of a specific material, this is what the spaghetti diagram is. And you can see it's quite confusing and it has a lot of back and forth. So by doing this, what they did with the Toyota production system is that then they reorganized the factory for it to be more effective. So for example, instead of having this checkpoint here, for example, maybe they just connected the two rooms. I don't know why they weren't connected before, but this is also like a hypothetical example. So maybe they would create a simple layout where, you know, the truck comes here, it deposits the material there, you get the material from here, you do the polishing, then you do the melting, then, you know, you cool it down, and then you have another melting, another cool down, and then you assemble in the middle. And then essentially you just do like this. So it's much, much simpler, and it's much more effective. Because one of the principles from lean management is to reduce waste, and reduce waste in a variety of ways, including transportation. So transportation from one place to the other is a waste. Storage is a waste. So things that are waiting for them to be sorted, or things that are, you know, going through a lot of steps for them to be done, that can be a waste as well. And that's exactly what they tackled here. So this is an example of how it would work for the Toyota factory. A hypothetical, very simplistic example. Now, how does this work with your team? Let's take the factory away. Essentially, your team is a set of people. And let's get another color. Let's say that you are doing one specific task, that you are developing a certain feature, that you are, you know, developing a certain marketing campaign, whatever it is that you're doing. And let's say that it starts with person, let's say that you are the team lead, you are the team manager, and it starts with you delegating that to one person. And then let's say that this person does some of the work, and then they need to go and ask for someone else to do a part, so to do the graphics, and then they need to come back. And then after the graphics, let's say that they need to actually ask to another person. Let me introduce another colleague here. So let's say that they need to ask to another person to review something, to do something else for them. So then the process comes here and then it comes back. And then let's say that you have to review the text of something, or you need to review a part of it. And then after you review, it comes back to this person. After it comes back to this person has to do some more work, and then they also have to ask something else to their colleague, and then back again, and then back to you. And after it's back to you, then you approve it again, and then this person can actually finally publish, or whatever it is. So you can see that there's a lot of back and forth. And this is one way for you to understand that maybe your processes are not as efficient as you want, or as you would like them to be. So then you can think about other ways for you to improve these processes. So for example, why is this person involved 2 times? Why is this person involved? Maybe this is someone from another department, and maybe they could do, you know, a template here of something that this person could use all of the times, and then they didn't need to go to that person anymore. The same thing for this person. So what are the things in your process? Look at your process. What are the different steps? That's what you're going to do. You're going to define one specific process that you want to improve. So for example, if it is your process of acquiring a customer, if it's your process of developing a feature, if it's your process of hiring someone, whatever it is, you want to have one object, which might be the person, the candidate that you're recruiting, or it might be the feature that you want to develop, or it might be the customer that you want to acquire. So that's going to be your object, right? And then you're going to see, where does your object go? How many times? So you can see that this is not necessarily just physical things. You can apply this to your processes, and then you're going to identify ways where, okay, this is going unnecessarily to a lot of people. What can we do to improve it? And maybe you're going to have, I don't know, like one meeting where everyone gets together and gives input, and then there's just one person who does it. Then you have one more meeting again with everyone, and then this person just does it, just publishes everything with a final note. So maybe this would be a much simpler process than all of this. And this is again a simplistic example, but it's something that you can translate to your team, and you can pick one process that you want to improve and see where is it that you are going back and forth in so many ways that are not needed maybe. So I hope you like this spaghetti diagram. I hope that you use it. We still have a couple more waves on lean team management. So if you're not aboard yet, make sure to subscribe so that you're in the leadership boat, and I'll catch you on the next wave. Bye.